May profits be upon you. I hope your weekend is going just great. And I know that you are trying to get away from the markets and everything, but I want to give you a look ahead in this weekly Forex forecast so that you can walk in and hit the ground running come open on Sunday evening. Let's take a look. Let's just dive right in, shall we? Oh, let me also preface this. There is an ongoing crisis between the Ukraine and Russia, and it looks like we're inching closer to an actual conflict. So look for people to start, the fly to safety, to safe havens. All right. I'm having trouble with English today. All right, the flight to safety will probably continue. And that means you might see strength coming in the US dollar, the yen, and you'll probably see gold continue to inch its way up. All right. As far as the economic calendar coming this week, it's nothing I could see that will reverse markets. There is what do you call consumer sentiment, Michigan consumer sentiment coming in on Friday, I believe. And we also have some GDP type numbers coming on Thursday, I think it was. But, just be careful at the times of those news announcements, right? Let's look at Dixie. Let's do a top down here. All right. What do we see? We see that price is making its way up into this weekly supply, right? And we can see, if we take a closer look at it, that price came up and then back down. Why is that significant? Because we've created a higher low in this, excuse me, what just happened? Yeah, in this higher high, higher low pattern here. And we can see that after breaking the top here for a break of structure to the upside, we see the pullback and we see that price may be continuing up higher, right? And I also want to make note that this is a bearish engulfer, and that usually with bearish engulfers, this candle, the bearish candle, and goes to bullish candle, we like to see this base candle, the green one, all right, the bullish candle, get tested and then drop down. However, what we have here is there's no follow through. The next candle did not break that low. For me, that is an indication that we're not too bearish over here. Yes, price has found this bullish order block here. We found demand and price is responding to it here. So we want to take a close look at the price action, right? So we come down to the daily, and what do we have here? All right. Once price came up into this higher time frame weekly supply, we see how price dropped down, right? This is not a break of structure for me, but what it does indicate is a chalk or change of character, because price looks heavy here. It looks like it wants to continue down lower. All right. Now we do see this correction to this impulsive move. All right. We see the correction here, but will we continue higher is the question. All right. When you see chalk, you're thinking that there's this is an early indication that price may want to shift from bullish to bearish momentum. So that's what we're looking out for. All right. Meanwhile, I don't know what I was doing there. All right. Meanwhile, I want to recognize that we have a higher high here, a higher low, a higher high, and a higher low. What am I expecting? I'm expecting this to continue higher because we are in this trading range. If price breaks this low, hey, all bets are off, and we're probably going to continue lower. But price can come all the way down here and then continue up. When it gets down here, I'm still bullish. Technically, still bullish until it breaks that. That's when that will confirm the bearish intent. Chalk doesn't confirm the bearish intent. It just gives an indication that price may be changing its character. All right, it's an early indication. It's an aggressive setup to trade. That's something to remember. Let's look on the 4-hour. And what I want to point out here on the 4-hour is this low here. This low led to this break of structure here. This low has strength to me, okay? And the swing high that it created, it didn't make a new low. It didn't break this low. It didn't make a new low. That makes it weak. And when you have a weak high, you're looking for price to be or run that weak high for liquidity. And we see that we have some bullish candles heading up that way, right? We have, and so that's why I call this the potential higher low, because a higher low is only confirmed once it breaks structure to the upside. As soon as it breaks that structure, this becomes a higher low because we're creating a higher high. That's the way it works, folks. So I'm keeping my eye out for further bullishness. Yes, we can get a pullback. We can get a pullback for sure. But this 4-hour demand seems to be holding up pretty nicely. All right. If you're going to take a long from around this area, I would look for this target at 96.515, right? I wouldn't recommend taking shorts because I believe we're going to see some strength in this with the Dixie, with the US dollar against the its pairs. So let's move with caution, okay? And let's move on to the Forex pairs, okay? Euro USD. What do we have here? Let's do a top down, shall we? We'll go down to, we have the inverse of what's going on with the US dollar. I mean, with the Dixie, right? We see the lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and everything here, right? And then we see that bounce up here. Okay, so what does this mean? This becomes a higher low for me, all right? And its potential. See, this confirmed its own higher low here after it broke structure to the downside. That's a higher low. The thing is, and we came back up, right? With this bullish and gopher, we came back up and took the liquidity from that high, from that lower high. We didn't break above and close above, all right? That would signal to me a break of structure, a higher high, all right? That's not what happened. When I see a wick high, that means for me a liquidity grab. And you see how prices dropped since, right? So we'll see what happens. Right now, price is testing this base candle of this bullish engulfment, engulfer pattern here. So we'll see if we get something like this. We'll see. All right, I don't anticipate it because we had a run of the highs first. So I'm going to be watching this area very closely. All right, I want to also point out too, we broke a demand zone here. All right, with that close below. All right, that's significant because if we're breaking demand zones, that means the pressure is pretty good. The selling pressure is pretty doggone good because we broke a demand zone. Look how price reacted when it was here last time, right? And we came in, we had this reaction, boom, right? This is the extreme of the reaction to this to this demand zone, and then we're continuing down. All right, so this is what I want to pay attention to. All right, let's look at the daily really quick. You see that we have the lower low, lower high, lower low, and then we came back up to this lower high, equaling it, similar just to mirror the opposite of the Dixie, right? We let me remove this real quick. We can see that there is the possibility. There is the possibility after this liquidity sweep of the highs here, boom, right? Price dropped, all right? And we're breaking what? Short-term lows, okay? Here, all right? Oh, we're breaking one here. When it does this number, and it keeps coming down, that's significant, all right? It gives us an indication of what the intent of price is, right? So we're in this sell to buy. These are what I call sell to buy wicks, and you can see how price responded to it. There is a demand zone. If we refine it down here, there is a demand down here. All right. Now, what do I want to see? I want to see if price, because this is kind of indecisive. All right. We start out going up, then we come back down. But there's 2 days of bearishness here. I'm wondering if price is going to take out that low. Why would I think it would take out that low? Let's go to the 4-hour. Because it's a weak low. It didn't make a new high. It failed to make a new high. So when you have a weak low, chances are it's going to get ran for liquidity. So I'm going to watch what price does when it reaches this area here. All right, I'm going to watch it. That's why I got that eye there. I'm going to watch on the 15-minute to see if price will give an indication that it wants to bounce and go higher. Okay, you know what the pattern is: low, lower, low, a swing high, a swing lower. All right, we're breaking that structure to the downside. All right, that low, we're breaking that low to the downside, and then we see a break to the upside. A return to impulse in this leg of structure. We're going to find an order block for it to bounce and continue higher. That's what I want to see. That's a confirmation entry. All right. I want to see a break of structure. A chalk would indicate the price may be turning early. All right. And that would again be an aggressive entry. All right. So I have a target here at 1.12673. If you're planning on shorting this. All right. If you're planning on going long, I think a safe target here is at 1.13868. All right. All right, what we want to see, because this is not, conclusive kind of price action. You want to let it clarify itself. All right, let it get past. Let it break past these highs and lows. You want to stay with the extremes. If you want to take a short, let it come back up here. Let it hit a bearish order block or something. All right, or if you're going to take a long, make sure you're looking at this the demand on the 15-minute to make sure you see a confirmation that price is wanting to turn around here. All right, you don't want to take a trade in the middle here. That's something you want to avoid. Okay, let's take a quick sneaky peek at the 15-minute, and we can see going into this demand zone, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, all of that good stuff there, right? We can see the pattern is very clear. Okay, so what I want to see now is an indication that price is going to go up. We don't even have a chalk yet. All right, it has not chalked yet. We have a sweep of the low, all right, but we didn't get where we would see that whatever made that low, that swing high made that low. All right, and until we see, come on now, I just think that wait until I get on, and it just doesn't want to cooperate. I just don't understand it. All right, until we see a break of this high, we don't have chalk. All right, we don't have no indication that price wants to go higher. So I'm going to go with the notion that price wants to bear down into this demand zone. So I'm not saying take a short from here. I'm saying wait until you get some kind of confirmation, man. All right. All right. And the way this is going to require some patience. If it's not going to turn here, it'll probably we'll probably have a reaction to the lower demand zone down here. Okay. So this is what I'm looking for. Now, once market open comes, all right, are we going to get a pullback, taking out these equal highs, right? And then we can take that short down. I'll be looking for all of that, right? This is why I have my eye on this this area. I want to see if we're going to break lower, break below that low, and then come back up and do something like that. All right, either that's going to happen on this that demand, or it's going to happen on this one. You know, it might be a short term pullback, but whatever the pullback is, I'm looking for a short. We'll see. You know, you just have to keep an open mind. Don't stay married to your bias. All right, so we're moving on to the next one, and that would be EURAUD. EURAUD. What do we have on the EURAUD? Guys, you could take a screenshot of all the stuff I have, my little notes, little notations and everything. All right, I have a strong high here. Why? Because we broke a few lows here. All right, and this was a break of structure on this one, and this is a very impulsive leg of structure, right? And then we have a pullback. All right, it didn't create a new, it didn't break that high. So what does that mean? This becomes a suspect low, and I believe it will be targeted for liquidity. All right, so then price comes back, pulls back, and then we go higher, sweeping that high. Interesting, but we still respecting the original high here. All right, and then you see price falling down. So what are we to think? All right, we're looking for a reaction. We're looking for a reaction now. If we go down to the, we're going to be looking for a reaction at a demand zone, because we didn't get a clean. There's a technical. This is very technical for me. It looks like a liquidity grab versus an intent of price to break structure to the upside and continue higher. So I'm looking at this very carefully. All right, I'm bearish on this because supply is in control here. And you see that for the last 2 weeks, it's been bearish, right? If we go down to the daily, we can see that this essentially a double top here. We had some bearish momentum from that supply, and we did break structure here, this pullback and up, and then we broke down here. This pullback is a break of structure, so I am bearish on the daily time frame, right? But we've just come into contact with a daily demand zone. So what does that mean? I'm looking for a reaction. That's why I have it highlighted there. I'm looking for a reaction. Let's take a look on the lower time frame, right? We have that bearish break of structure. We have a supply chain here, right? Just supply zones on top of supply zones, right? Boom, boom, boom. All right. Do I see any bullish momentum coming into this? No, not right now. It looks very bearish to me. All right. It looks like the Aussie, safe haven, is bringing the euro down, right? So if you're going to take a bullish trade, a safe target, if you're going to take a buy, a safe target would be at 1.5843. All right, but I wouldn't recommend it. I'm going to personally, I would be looking for sells because of the bearish break of structure here. All right, and I'm going to be looking at this reaction to this demand zone. Okay, and what am I looking for in this reaction? I'm looking for a change of character. That's why you see that line there. Yeah, we made a lower low. All right, we made a lower low, lower there anyway. All right, and you always go to the highest point before that break of that low, of that swing low, and that would be here. If price does in fact come back up and take that out, then we have a 4-hour chalk. Okay, let me measure this. Let me measure this really quick. Oh no, actually that would be a break of structure. All right, so for me that would be a break of structure here because it's got two candles. It's got two candle pullback, each one trading outside the previous trading range of the preceding candle. So and it's enough for me to call it a shown of pullback. Right? If we break that high, that would be a break of structure, a bullish one, and I would be looking at looking for a buy as price will return to impulse somewhere down here, and that would be a place I would take a buy. But that's only in the case that we do break that line there. Okay. Meanwhile, I'm still looking for a bearish intent because we have a bearish supply chain and we have a bearish break of structure. So I am looking for shorts. All right. My target would be 1.5662 because I believe that is a safe target. You can see the interaction that's happened at this level. So I would think this would be an appropriate short. Okay. Let's move to the next one, EURNZD. EURNZD, we're going to take a peek at the week. All right. And what do we have here? An aggressive break of structure, the higher high expecting a higher low. Look at this. That's a break of structure. That's very obvious. All right. And it's just telling you that there's bullish intent. Why is my eye all droopy and to the side here? Okay, let's fix that. Okay. So we broke that eye. And when we have a break of structure, what do we automatically look for? We look for a return to impulse. Where would that impulse be? Well, I have this demand zone here, and I'm going to be looking for price to give me a reaction before it gets there now. Let me tell you why. Let me show you. We can see the price action a little clearer on the daily. If we go to the daily, we can see that we have a fair value gap to fill on the way to this this order block here. All right, and we have liquidity points for price to take liquidity, fill a fair value gap. All right, and find this demand zone. Now, this might take a minute, but that's where it looks like it's going, and I am bearish in this pair. So, I mean, it's not going to be that hard to hold for this. Now we have some relative equal lows here and more down here. You know, I'm looking at the safest targets. We'll take a look at that on the 4-hour. All right, looking for the safest targets. You can see all the interactions here, here. So I'm looking at a low target of 1.679, 1.6797, excuse me. And if you decide to take a long here, and that's not going to be where I'm looking at yet, not unless we get a bullish indication here. You know, if the price shifts from bearish to bullish momentum, we'll look at it. All right, but a safe target would be 1.7136. All right, let's take a look at it on the 15-minute. Look at that price action there where I have it highlighted in yellow. Let's go to the 15-minute. All right, on the 15-minute, we can see that we had a low. We made the swing low. We broke that swing low. Now, what am I looking at? I'm looking at the highest point before that break of that low there. All right, and we have a break of structure here. Boom. All right, it's very technical because we barely got that close, but we did come back again. So it looks like, you know, for me, all I'm waiting for is a return to impulse. we did return to that impulse. We pumped once, boom. We pumped again, lower. This time we beat this low. So what am I thinking? Do we have a lot of bullish momentum here? No, no, we do not. All right. So, I mean, we tried to make a new high. We tried. And you see how the sellers came back and into the play. We still closed the bullish candle, but it's not looking like, you know, it's not giving me the bang zoom that I would like to see. Okay. So that being said, we're going to make note that we have a sweep of these lows already. And price could turn around at any point because we did have a break of structure to the upside. So I'm watching this area with a lot of intensity. All right, and we'll see. Yeah, we have an indication. We have a pattern, a sign that says price wants to turn around, but it didn't give me that energy, you know, that says, hey man, this is definitely going to happen. The euro is weak. The euro is weak again, I say. So the question is whether it'll be weak against the New Zealand dollar, which is very, very weak. So this is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good one to watch. And these are both weak. The kind of euro is a little stronger than the euro. If we look at the last couple of days, you know, this is something I'm going to be very careful with. We see how the euro has been weak against the New Zealand dollar. So I'm looking for more further bearish action. I'm looking to target those the sell side liquidity there. So that's where I'm at with this. Okay, let's look at the next one. Euro pound. Shout out to my guy Raphael. All right, Raphael, I took care of you, man. All right, he made a request for me to take a look at a market, and I said I would, and I did. Okay, check the community tab on my channel because I leave messages there sometimes, and sometimes I'm going to be looking for feedback. Right now, the comments are enabled, so leave a comment, leave a request for a market that you might want to want me to take a look at anyway. So we have sell side liquidity here, right? We see price. Oh, come on, man. We see prices made all these lower lows and lower highs, chopped its way down, right? This looks like a descending correction, and that's always interesting because they usually do one of these numbers, right? But this is coming in bearish, and we have this low side, the sell side liquidity, and I do not see a good reason for price to turn around. All right, not to this point. You would think that after price hits this bullish order block here, you see how price left this level explosively, right? But we didn't get that reaction. We got then we're bearing all the way into this this demand zone. So, you know, I'm thinking that we're going to finish the job off. All right, this is looking pretty weak. Okay, let's take a look at the daily. Come on, man. All right, if we look at the daily, all right, you see that we did have a break of structure, right? After a bearish break of structure, right? You see this price dibble and dabble, and then we broke above that swing high here, right? So what are we to think? We made this low, price finally breaks that low here. All right, so you go to the highest point before that break of that low, and that was here. Price came up, took that swing high out, broke structure to the upside. So technically, right now I am bullish. All right, we had an attempt to go high, and then we come down to this demand zone. That's why my eye is here. I want to see how price reacts. I'm going to look on the lower time frames to see, to take a look at that reaction. And we can take a look on the 4-hour. All right, here's that. It's a very large demand zone. Price is bearing down into it. We can refine this to here, right? And if we refine it, you can see that we haven't really touched it. That's probably why I left it there in the first place. But I have it here, right? And I believe because we broke that low, because we broke this low here, all right, this isn't a major structure, but it is a short-term low that is being broken, all right? And we have broken structure to the downside already, all right? So this becomes very key for me. Now, what can happen is price breaks this high after this low, after breaking that low and then break that high. What do we have? We have chalk, all right? And if price comes back to the origin, then we're gonna be looking for some gains. We're gonna be looking for bullish price action after that, all right? But right now, we had a pullback after this breaking structure. We had a pullback. We didn't come all the way back thinking that we might come back here, but you can see that we've had very efficient price action from that point. So, you know, it coming this far here, that's not too far out of the realm of reality, right? That price may not come back up to this area, to the origin. All right, it may not return to impulse. So I'm looking for price to maybe continue lower further into this this demand, and I want to take a hard look at what I call my bullish and bearish targets. I'm looking for more bearishness to come into this market because the pound is one of the stronger currencies, and it's pulling, obviously, it's pulling the weaker euro down. All right, and I'm looking for more of the same. Okay, so my close target is 0.8285. I think that's a safe target. That's about 100 pips, I believe. And or am I just going by memory here? What am I doing? Think that's, man, what was I thinking? Obviously, I got this mixed up with another thing, another pair. All right, so we're going to get about 40 to 50 pips out of that first target. All right, but I think this may have potential to go further. Let's keep in mind what we saw on the weekly. All right, we have these the sell side liquidity here, all right, just below these lows, and then we have a lot of smooth traffic. All right, a lot of smooth traffic down here. So I'm thinking that there is another target area here. Come on, man. Another target area here, right around 81.18. All right, and I think that's a realistic target. I think that's a realistic target. But let's hit the nearer target first. Okay. All right, that's what I'm looking for. I wouldn't recommend taking longs in this market. If you are, 83.98 is the one I would go for. But that's if we get a confirmation that price may want to change direction here. Okay, only then. All right, next, let's go to Euro Swiss. Euro Swiss. I'm running it down. Baby. Do not forget to leave a like. All right, smash that like button, man, and share this channel, share my channel with others. All right, subscribe, man. Why don't you subscribe? Okay, so what do we have here? This is a Euro Swiss, and we have again a the euro up against another safe haven, the Swiss, right? And you can see how strongly the Swiss drags down that euro. all right, the weaker euro. Okay, so we have a break of structure here. All right, we had the initial break of structure here, one leg of this impulse, and then a corrective pullback. All right, so is this establishing the lower high? Is that what we're doing here? Because we have a lower low, lower high, and then a lower low here. All right, is this going to be the lower high, or are we going to correct even higher, in a bull flag, I mean a bearish flag, and then drop? All right, that is the question. There's a lot of, you just don't jump on something. You got to make sure of things. Now we see that we have a sweep of the highs here before it started coming down. So I'm watching price at this point. We got to go down further and take a look at the price action. All right, let's go to the daily. And what we can see is we did have a sweep of the highs here. Great. All right, that box is checked. Boom. Let me see if I can get this right. That box is checked. All right, then price comes down. All right, we're filling in the fair value gap here. As price descends, we pull back. We test the mitigate this order block here. All right, the supply, and we fall even further, breaking two short-term lows on the way down. All right, we are coming into this demand zone here, and that's what I want to watch. I want to watch what is the response once we get here. All right, potential rejection from this or this OB. Maybe price wants to come back up and maybe test this supply and then continue down. We'll see. There's a couple of scenarios that the way this can play out, but we are bearish and we're looking for sells. All right, we already have a buy to sell move here already. All right, so we want to see how price reacts once it reaches that demand zone. Right, we're going to go to the 4 hour. Let's take a quick look at that. All right, we can see how price came down. We swept the high here, swept this high as well, and then we bust to the downside here. All right, we had this corrective pullback, boom, and this makes for a great bullish target. If you're going to take a buy in this market, 1.0534 is not a bad target to look at. Okay, all right, but what we have to notice is that we broke structure. This swing low was broken here, so I am bearish in this market. Now, could price come back up? Could price come back up into this fair value gap and then continue down to the this low side target? That's what I'm looking for, 1.0360. This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a short, and I'm looking for price. Want to watch the way price reacts after this break of structure, because after every break of structure, you expect a return to impulse. So I'm looking for that pullback, and that could happen at any time. Right. Meanwhile, you'll see why I chose this as a target, because of the interaction of price at this level. It looks like this would be a good spot to take profits. We have a bullish order block here, something I want to bring your eye to. All right, you see this gray area? This means that there was a demand zone here that was broken. All right, what does that usually tell you? It shows you how strong the bearish intent is from from demand to supply. This is a demand to supply flip zone. Okay, it flips from demand to supply. Boom. And what you want to do is, what you want to make note of is the reaction. Once price comes into this demand zone, you want to catch that reaction and then the impulse that breaks the order block. All right, you want to catch that impulse, because if it comes back here, this is a strong high, and that means it's tradable. Do you understand the logic? I hope you do, because I'm not repeating it. Okay, check my other videos, check my previous videos, and you can get more details on how that works. Okay, so as price comes down, I'm looking for that pullback, and we'll move on to the next pair. Pound. Let's look at the pound pair. Pound USD, pound USD. All right. I don't know why this is showing up here. The targets are not supposed to be on this. All right. All right. So what do we have here? It's pretty obvious. All right. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. And now we have this swing low and the swing back. So this here is microstructure, because this is your trading range from this lower low to that lower high. That is your trading range. Until you break that high, we are bearish. Until you break this high, once this high is broken, then we'll start talking about bullishness. Okay, that's the way it works. Okay, so we see that we are chaining together supply zones. Supply zones. I'm looking at this high as weak because it didn't make a new low, so it may get ran for liquidity. All right, price could come up, grab it, and then continue back bearish. This is an indecisive market to me. You see these wicks on either side, the dojis and all that. That's weeks of dojis there. All right, yeah, it's bullish, but it's this like bullish neutral. You understand? All right, let's go to the daily, and we can take a closer look. Just that high I was talking about looks weak because it didn't make a new low. All right, we came back here and we're in this trading range here. What you want to do with trading range? You want to stick to the extremes. You want to take buys from here, you want to take sells from here, and you want to do that on an intraday basis. That's what you want to do. All right, if you're going to take longs, if you're going to take longs and shorts, just stick to the extremes. All right, now, is there anything else about this? Buy side liquidity at the extreme of this location. See, what you want to watch out for is what market makers like to do. They build up liquidity, build up orders. They take a sweep of the high, sweep of the low, and then go in their intended direction. Either they'll continue down lower, or they'll do the exact opposite. Swing low, swing high, and then go there. You know, so you just got to watch out for that swing, because they're on both sides. They're looking for liquidity, and don't be the liquidity. Okay. Now, this is what I want you to take note of. There was already a sweep of the low here before these consecutive bullish candles. We haven't swept that high yet. So this could happen first and then down. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm watching out for that move. Okay. Let's go down to the 4-hour. Now you see why I had these targets here. All right. There are relative equal highs up here. Boom, boom. All right. Price is a magnet to those. All right. And then you have all these points of internal liquidity that price could come and target. And that's why I have my target at 1.3497. All right. That is the bearish target. If you're going to take sells. All right. If you're going to take buys, a safe target would be 1.3644. Okay. All right. There's a lot of liquidity up here for people who have stop losses, who took shorts. Okay. What am I looking for personally? I want the market to tip its hand to me. I want to see which way it wants to go. All right. I am looking for bearishness to come into this market, because you can see on the daily, we have a bearish close, and with this this conflict, if the tensions ratchet up, you'll see the US dollar get stronger against its pairs, and I would think we're going to see more downward action if tensions start to relieve. You know, because the pound was pretty strong prior to this conflict. So the Ukraine-Russia conflict. So I would look for price to go up a little bit more. All right. So, and probably go after that target there. So that's where I'm at with the cable. All right. If tensions continue, I'm looking for price to make its way down here, but maybe we come up first and then drop. Okay, so let's move on to the next pair, pound JPY, pound JPY. Let's take a look at the weekly. All right, what do we have on the weekly? What am I? Oh, come on, man. You know, I hate doing that. All right. All right. So technically bearish. The high of the current trading range has not been broken. It is, however, weak, expecting a sweep of the highs for a higher high. All right. You can see we have relative equal highs up here for price to come and get, similar to the situation with pound USD. All right. We have a high here that tried to make it lower low, but did not succeed. So it may be targeted for liquidity. Price came back up, pulled down, and then that high was swept. Why? Because it didn't create a new low. All right, so it was swept for liquidity. We're really close to that one, so we may see a pop to the high side and then down. Why? Because if the crisis continues, yen is going to pull the pound down with it. All right, yen will be stronger as people will, flee to safe havens. That's if the tensions increase. Okay, so that is something to be watchful for. Let's look at the daily. All right. Oh, come on, man. The problem here is we're lacking momentum. All right. Prior to the Ukraine crisis, pound was stronger versus the yen. This is slowing the upward momentum. Price could dither here in consolidation. Need to see a breakout. This is the same thing. Same thing as pound. We did have a break of these highs, which I called, which looks like inducement. It gets people to take shorts early, and then they come back and get their stop losses. That's what market makers do. It's devilish, but what are you going to do? That's the name of the game. All right. If we can see this price action a little clearer on the 4-hour, and you can see I have plenty of notes here. All right. The highlighted high is a lower high if you're looking at it in terms of lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Are we on our way to making a lower low? I'm thinking we are. And like I told you before, if this is the trading range, make sure you take your shorts from the extremes or take your longs from the extreme. You understand? But if price is going to continue down, all right, my target is 155.47, 478. And if you're going to take a long, 157.936. All right, I am looking personally, I'm looking for shorts to continue, and I would look for a short on a pullback. You can see here in the in between there's a fair value gap. There's a fair value gap for price to fill. So there is a reason for price to want to come back up here. All right, fill in the gap, respect the supply, and then come on down. All right, sweeping these lows, sweeping that low. And that's why my eye is here. I'm going to be looking to see what price does on that level once it gets here. Okay. And let's go to pound Aussie. Pound Aussie. Why did I go to the daily? Let's take a peek on the week. Right? Bullish. Why am I bullish? Should be fairly obvious. We got a higher high, higher low. Oh, break a structure, higher high, higher low, higher high. Boom. I mean, that seems pretty rudimentary, right? Pretty fundamental, but here we are back at that higher low. Are we going to see price continue higher with the pound Aussie? Well, that would mean the pound would be stronger against the Aussie, and Aussie is a safe haven and pound is not. So if you see how the weeks have been 3 consecutive bearish weeks, bearish closes, right? And we are at this demand zone, and you see the wicks of exhaustion there. Let's take a closer look at the daily. And why do I have this blue line there? It's because I believe this low is pretty strong, because it broke structure to the upside here. So what does that mean? That means it's a pretty tradable, a pretty tradable or low. And you can see that we did have a nice run if you would have took a long from that point. Okay, and here we are back again. Now, are we going to go lower? This is a potential higher low. Why? Higher high, swing, a correction, all right, higher low. Uh-oh, that's not a higher low. This is a corrective low here, a corrective, just call it a micro structure, all right? We didn't break that high. We failed to break a new high. What does that mean? This is a weak low. So we swing down, right? We come back to the original higher low. We didn't break lower. Great. All right. We move back up. But is this a fail to make a higher high? We're going to find out, because we can do something like this for sure. But with the crisis coming in, you can see that Russia said, okay, we're going to be pulling troops back. And then people started finding out, no, he's not. No, he's not. He's lying, you know, whatever. You know, this is how the market moved. So I'm thinking that we're going to see further bearishness. Okay, this is a potential higher low, but we failed to make a higher high. All right, so with this trending low and the break of structure to the downside, I'm bearish on this pair. All right, we'll take a look on the lower time frames at this contact here. Are we turning around or not? Let's go to 4 hour. What do we have here? We have a potential flip zone here. This bullish to bearish. We're looking for demand to flip to supply or not. We're going to find out. We have buy side liquidity here. All right, and we see this bullish price action here that came down, or price corrected here, taking out the fair value gap left behind, filling it in rather. And we're going to see if price is going to continue higher or continue lower. All right, the way we're going to find that out is by taking a sneaky peek at the 15-minute. All right, and what do I have here? Oh, I got a Fibonacci retracement, but I only have the 50%. See, this is the trading range. This is the trading range here. All right, on the 15-minute. All right, I just want you to see how price got a little messy over here, right? All right, we have demand zone here. We have demand zone here. You can see that there was a break of structure to the upside here. All right, from this low to this high. All right, this is the trading range, and we haven't come down into, if this is premium prices, this is discount prices. We have not come into the discount prices yet. We do have a sell to buy wicks here, and I believe that price very well may do one of these numbers. All right, and that would be interesting, but we want to see what the reaction is here once price comes into contact with that. All right, I'm already looking at this low as being weak because it failed to make a new high. All right, so I'm looking out for a price to run it for liquidity. Now we're going to see what happens when it comes into contact with this demand zone. All right, because we can fire right through this thing and target the low side, the sell side liquidity here. You understand the logic? So I'm hoping to see something, see a good reaction here, what I would call a good reaction anyway, but you don't see any targets here, right? Because I'm not sure where this one is going. I'm not sure of it because you see it's lacking momentum here in any particular way, any particular direction. All right, we did make a chalk here, right? We made this low, swung lower, came back up, took out that swing high, and we have chalk, but it is not giving us, we haven't seen a follow through yet to where we can say, hey, a break of structure to the upside on the 4 hour. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. Now, if we break take out these this buy side the buy side liquidity here, that would convince me with a strong aggressive bullish candle, right? So there is supply here. I don't know why I don't have that there. All right, there's supply here, and if price makes it up here, I'll be looking for a reaction once it reaches that supply on the 4-hour. But I got to tell you something. This is one of the markets that, you know, I'm going to wait patiently and let it tell me what it wants to do. You know, I'm not going to just jump into anything here. We have an impulsive break of structure here. We have that pullback, and I'm looking for a price to show me that it wants to continue down lower. All right, structure wise, we have higher highs and higher lows until that pullback. All right, once we broke that low, you know, it looks like we might be trending in the other way. So I want to see what happens here. This is a doji. It closed the doji, but it closed the bearish doji. Thinking that we might see some follow through, that this green candle was a daily correction. And that's it. That's it. We've come to the end of our journey today. You see, I'm losing my voice. I don't have any more water. Oh, yes, I do. I just took a swig. Okay. So I'm hoping that you got something out of this. And I hope that you hit your targets for the week. Keep up with the updates that I'll put in the community tab. All right, because I'm going to take a hard look at pound Aussie, because I think it's going to continue bearishly, and I don't like leaving without some targets to go for. But what I would consider safe targets, and I'm going to put some more right now, right in front of you. All right, I think this is a safe target here for a what I don't have, it doesn't say target. How come it doesn't say target? Anyway, I got a target here for sells at 1.8844. I like the way price interacts at this level here, and I think this will be a good place to take profit. All right, as far as buys are concerned, I'm looking right here. Yep, I'm looking right there for buy side targets. Oh, let me see. Yeah, I got this wrong. All right, this is target high, and this is target low. Okay. Oh, why isn't that red? I don't understand. All right. I'm going to get it right today. One of these days, I'm going to get it right. Okay. So we have 1.90002. You know, I'm looking at 1.9 thousand or 90,000. I'm looking for that as my buy side target if you're going to take longs. But this is a choppy looking market here. Just make sure that we get a sweep. Look for that liquidity sweep. And that's what I'm looking for here, because we could very well do one of these numbers and then continue down. So I'm looking at that, being that the relative equal highs are so proximal. We did get a bullish chalk here, so price could very well be intending to go higher. Anyway, that's the end of my video. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. If you got something out of it, do not hesitate to leave a request in the comment section of this video. All right, or if you have a question on what chalk is, or how do I determine a confirmation entry versus taking a risk entry, there's just give me any question you have. All right. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for spending a little bit of your Saturday with me, and I'll talk to you later.